Hello and welcome back. Often when we think of furniture in a box, the Big Blue Store comes to mind. But did you know that some big box stores carry more than just tools and building materials? And while some of these items aren't physically in the store, by ordering online, they can be delivered either to your local store or better yet, to your home for free. In this video, our flat box consists of the Keswick 39-inch upholstered solid wood counter height stool. It features a high back rest, 25-inch seat height, a width and depth of 23 inches, and a weight capacity of 250 pounds. It's a product of China and comes with a 30-day return policy and a 3-year warranty. So let's see how easy it is to assemble and what the build quality is like. Opening the box, there's a orange tag that says hardware on it, but the hardware isn't attached to that. I think it's in the corner here, and it seems like, there it is. This is our hardware. We have, looks like, probably side or back. I would think back. We have cushion. Maybe a side to the chair. And then another side here with legs. And I don't see it in the box, but maybe there are instructions with the hardware. Looking at our hardware collection, we see it includes an Allen tool, so it doesn't look like we're going to need any other tool to assemble this with. And each of the bags is individually numbered, so that should make for quick assembly. I'm impressed with how well everything is wrapped and cushioned, so we shouldn't find any defects from shipping. It appears that all components are clearly labeled, so we just need to find those instructions. While each leg includes a floor protector, the front legs are adjustable. As I unwrap each of the components, we find the assembly manual underneath the seat cushion. While online this product is listed as having a 3-year warranty, according to the manual, it's only a 1-year warranty from the manufacturer. After removing all the foam and plastic, we're left with 4 basic components and some hardware. Build quality so far looks pretty good. There's little minor things, and maybe I'll point some of those out. But overall, you know, it feels good, solid wood. So let's put this together. It's always a good idea to stage your hardware in the numerical order so that when you need a number 2, it's easy to find. We start assembly by taking our grub screws, which are item number 1, and they go on the back of the left and right chair upper corner. Unfortunately, it's not slotted at the end, so you just have to manually turn until it stops going into the chair. For the next step, we're going to need the Allen tool that was included, 2 machine screws, which are number 2, 2 lock washers, which are number 5, and 2 washers, which are number 4. We now take our cushion back, which is item A, which has 2 openings here, and we're going to mate it with the seat bottom, which is item B, like so. We're going to use the fasteners and washers that we just saw. The problem is we need to go through here, but there's an easy solution. They've used hoop and loop, so all we have to do is line this up, drop in our screws and washers, and we'll make this connection. I moved the cushions to a table so we can better see how they align. The tricky part is getting the thread to catch on the seat back. And once you know it's done that, then your chances increase of getting it on the other side. Hand tighten, then we'll use the Allen tool and finish tightening that up. Now we take the left rail of the chair, which has a grub screw that we already placed in it in the upper right-hand corner. That grub screw is going to mate with this opening right here on the upright cushion. This is the right side looking at it from the back, and this is not threaded, so that grub screw should just slide in there. It may need a little encouragement. The toughest part will be just aligning it, but as you see, it dropped right in. Once again, we move our Velcro cover over, and you'll see that there are 4 openings on that rail, and we're going to use the same connectors that we used earlier with the screw, lock washer, and washer, and we're just going to drop one into each hole, line it up, and thread those in place. When trying to get the hole to line up with the bottom hole, sometimes it helps to use the Allen tool to make sure that you're lined up. Also, once you drop it in, if it's still not catching right, you can try lifting up, and that'll give the screw a bit more freedom to catch the thread. And like I said before, I like going backwards and catching the beginning of that thread so that I don't inadvertently cross thread and create more problems for myself. And once they're in, just drive them all the way down with your tool, and then we're going to repeat the same procedure for the other side. While the front fasteners were fairly easy to drive with the Allen key, I ended up getting a 3/16 Allen bit and with a manual driver to do the back because they were just a little harder to do, and twirling this thing around just got to be a little bit too much. So I opted for this manual driver. Can it be done with this? Yes. It's just going to take a lot longer and maybe be a bit more frustrating. What I wouldn't advise you to do is to use a power tool because you may overdrive and then damage the wood. Once we're completed with that, next thing we're going to do is get the rails F and E. F is going to go right here, which is the back of the chair, and E is going to go to the front of the chair. Now we're going to grab the remaining right side of the chair, which has a grub screw already in it, and we're going to align it to the back of the seat. We take that grub screw, line it up here, and it should just drop in. And as that drops in, we are now going to align the footrest with the leg of the chair and just place that in position. You notice we have not screwed those in yet. That's a little bit later, but we want to make sure these are aligned because we now need to put those 4 fasteners up here that we did down there. And that's probably best if we just flip the chair over. I have to confess, getting these 4 fasteners in here after you've already put them on the other side was a pain in the butt. I couldn't get this to line up. I took a mallet, tried adjusting. I did my little trick of dropping in the Allen key to get things to line up. It was so frustrating, I actually had to walk away from the project for a while. Otherwise, I would have probably torn it apart. Anger management there. Anyway, so I came back, and then I just lifted this again so I could see at least one of these fasteners get into the hole. And I did that, and then did the one on the far corner, And finally, the whole thing aligned, but took way longer than it should have. At this point, you should have 2 pieces of wood left over. This is D, and that's C. And this one's going to go up here this way. There are 2 openings on the wood, narrow and large. You want the large facing the floor, so you're going to mount that way. Obviously, we'll bring the cover back and do the same thing for that side. And for this, you're going to need the number 6 screws, which look similar to the ones we've been using, except that these are a bit longer. To help with alignment, I'm going to put the fastener through. That way I can get it into my hole, get the Allen key on it, and start driving that just a little bit, enough to hold it in place so I can do the same type of alignment on the bottom. After attaching the back rail, we do the same thing to the front rail. With the 2 fasteners driven in, the cushion should meet the board, although you may have a gap on either end, as the wood seems to be a bit on the short side. Looking at the back side, we do have a bit of a gap there. Finish here is okay, could have been better. And when we look at the bottom here, it's actually flush. So it seems that it's possible to get them a little closer, but again, this is attached to that already. So short of putting a fastener through here and driving it through to tighten that up, I don't see any other way of getting this tighter. The last of our hardware are 4 self-tapping wood screws. They're going to go on the footrest on the front and back of the chair. There are 2 positions, top and bottom, for each one. And you're going to use a number 2 Phillips screwdriver. These don't really need any alignment, as the wood brace already fits into the leg, and that provides the alignment for the hole. Don't overdrive the fastener, because the wood is not a very hard wood, so it'll actually strip. How do I know that? One of these is already stripped. After turning all the fasteners and wood screws, your chair should look exactly like this. So let's test drive. It's firm, but you'd expect that, being that it's brand new. I think these are a bit low for my elbows. You certainly can't do this with it, but back feels nice support there. The footrest is good. My feet dangle off the side as if I were a 3-year-old. And it moves because it's on carpeting, but I don't feel like it's flimsy or anything. So how's the build quality on this? We've already mentioned the gap in the front on both sides. The back gap is a little better since it's only on one side. I felt that on the back, this should have been smoother. Instead, we have a bunch of ripples that are going through it. The stitching on the panels as they come together looks even and very nice. The front footrest suffers from that same gap issue that we're experiencing elsewhere, although the pre-assembled side rails are beautifully matched. Of course, the cushion is not removable, which means if you get a stain on it, you can't just take it off and deal with it separately. Make no mistake, this is not high-end furniture. It's priced at a point where it looks nice. It's a do-it-yourself project, which can be frustrating for some people. And especially if you're the type of person that needs to have seams that are invisible, this is not the piece of furniture for you. But again, coming out of a box, I don't think most of them will be. But if you need a functional stool without the high-end prices that looks pretty decent, this might be the chair for you. If you found this video interesting or useful, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, join the subscription team, and as always, thank you for so much for watching.